Bro, stay. You wish you were in the same bed as me. That's kind of okay. That's creepy. That's not weird at all. I'm rich. You thought I wasn't gonna go live, but I did. When did I say I wasn't gonna go live? I never said I wasn't gonna go live. She belongs to me. Anyways. Be careful. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't go live yesterday. You feeling good? Like, stay. God, I'm ugly, says the person who has a profile picture of an anime character. You make that your personality. People that like anime tend to be the most insecure people in life. You're calling someone ugly when you feel ugly because you could barely look at yourself in the mirror. I mean, be honest with yourself. I know I like anime, but the thing is I'm not going around calling people ugly. And if I did, it's because someone provoked me to, because they said it first. You really gotta, like, think. Like, why do people just talk about people's looks straight up unprovoked? What provoked you to call me ugly? I didn't even say anything about your looks, but I can go there. And considering the fact that a lot of the people that talks about people being ugly are the ones that literally don't even show their face at all. How are you gonna call someone ugly when you don't even have the guts to show your actual face online? It's weird. And then people be coming to their defense. No, that's being a big bully. Don't be a big bully. How are you gonna defend people bullying somebody for their looks? Like, nobody asked. What do you mean I can't go live after a certain time? I got no rules. To an extent. It's called privacy. Well, does it look like there's anyone here? No, it's just me. Yeah, I blocked those accounts. Rage baiting is, like, different than calling someone ugly. Calling someone ugly is not rage bait. Rage baiting is using a, like, topic like race to rage bait someone. I don't share a room. You don't even know where I'm at, so hold on. You don't even know where I'm at, so but rage bait is literally like a topic to get people to get angry, like white women trying to make black women angry. That's rage baiting. Rage baiting is not calling someone ugly. That's being a bully. Call it what it is and stop trying to, like, defend being a bully. Your whole existence online has been nothing but being rage baited. Calling someone ugly is not rage baiting. Again, that's being a bully. If you do not want to be called a bully, then don't be a bully. When has calling someone ugly rage baited? That's not how that works. My connection, that's because there's only one bar. Rage baiting has everything to do with race too, because people use race to rage bait. A lot of white people rage bait black people because, let me tell you something, white people know not to say the N-word, but they do it anyways. You know why? Because they love to make black people mad. That's their motive, right? White women say stuff all the time to black women to provoke black women to get mad. That's rage baiting. Yes, race can be a part of rage baiting. There's a lot of things that could be rage baiting, but calling someone ugly is not one of them. You cannot call somebody ugly. Calling somebody ugly is not rage baiting, that's bullying. You're making fun of someone's looks. Making fun of people is not rage baiting. Considering the fact that when you're talking about rage, I feel like is beyond angry. And right now I'm mad chillin', so I'm not even enraged. I'm just being truthfully honest. The people that call people ugly are the ones that won't look in the mirror themselves. That's honest. If you don't like the honesty, then you could kick rocks. Like, nothing I said was me saying it with rage. Nowhere did I sound angry, so technically they didn't rage bait me, and that's not even rage baiting, so. Calling me trans is not gonna make me angry. It's just gonna cause you to get blocked. Yeah, and you know, cool name loser, I don't even look in the mirror, because if I look like you, I can't even say what I would do if I look like you. I'm trying to be nice and trying to respond with kindness, because if I look like you, well, let's just say, you better hope your parents have life insurance. That's all I gotta say if I look like you. Trying to be nice, because, you know, there's a lot of people that have PCOS, and PCOS, one of the symptoms of PCOS is there are women that grow beards because of PCOS. It's a medical condition. You know, making fun of someone for having a beard is weird, considering the fact that women are supposed to have hair. And you're a misogynist. So, yeah, when people say, oh, you do stuff for male attention, that's doing stuff for male attention, because you just literally do what males do, and you're a woman. That's weird. You're not a feminist. You can't call yourself, you're not a girl's girl, because girls do not talk about women and their hair. That's like men saying women's armpits have to be shaved, their leg has to be shaved, you know, other places have to be shaved, you know, right? That is so weird. Like, why would you want to be a misogynist? Women have beards because of PCOS. Women have a lot of things. Did you know that there was a trans woman that said that laser hair removal should be available to everyone, not just trans people, but to women? And I do agree, because I have to pay for laser hair removal. I can help that I grow a beard. Do you know how crazy it is that I grow a lot of hair? I shave one day and it's already grown back. That's how crazy it is. The next day I have that. There's nothing I can do about it except just live with it. I shave a lot. You know, trying to make someone insecure over something that they can't control is crazy, considering the fact that I have to shave my neck too, because they couldn't figure out why I was growing hair on my neck, and it makes my neck look dark, and sometimes it makes it look like I haven't even washed my neck. Like, women do have beards, because actually back in the day, back in the 1900s, the early 1900s, when they had the oddities in circuses, yeah, remember the woman with the beard in the circus? Okay, she made money. The bearded lady. Like, there's women that have beards that rock full grown, like, beards. Women. Like, who decided what the beauty standard was? Why did we decide women are not allowed to have hair? Why did we decide the beauty standard was blonde-haired, blue-eyed women? Why did we decide that, well, I don't know if it's PCOS. I haven't been tested for that. But I do know that it's just weird to judge women on what they have. Like, who decided what the beauty standard is? People have literally broken the beauty standard. The lizard man got his whole body tattooed in scales. You know, the guy that has his face is altered and he's got like horns coming out of his skin. Like, who sits here and is just like, yeah, I'm just gonna nitpick on what people have. Like, it's crazy. I will shave like crazy, and the next day the hair on my face is already growing back, and there's nothing I can do about it, because the only way to do something about it is laser hair removal, which means when you get that, it stops it at the root so it doesn't grow back. I don't have any waxing kits. I can't afford that. But yeah, I shave a lot, and I use the eyebrow shaver, because if I use a regular like shaver, like a regular razor, that just makes the hair grow back a lot faster. It doesn't even work. Like, I shave a lot, and for me, sometimes I'm tired. I don't want to keep shaving and shaving. And I know that there's on TikTok they have like these laser hair removal that you can do at home, but I don't got money for that. You got money for that? I don't have to shave every day because I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I don't need to shave for what? Like, someone likes me for who I am. Why do I have to shave just because you don't like it? No one gives a fuck what you like. I don't give a fuck what you like. It's not about what you like. I could go to your page right now and pick something apart about you that I don't like and tell you you need to change that. That would be very rude. I don't bully people. I don't start picking apart their looks and this and that. A lot of the celebrities, if you were to see them without makeup, you would be shocked. A lot of people feel like they have to keep themselves a certain way. Why do you think they get all these plastic surgeries and all these Botox and lip fillers, and they make themselves a certain way? People looked better before their plastic surgeries, and they look horrible after. Like, I've seen so many people go to the extremes with their plastic surgery that they look better when they were younger. You know why people turn to plastic surgery? Because they got bullied. Oh, who was one of the biggest celebrities of all time that got plastic surgery for being bullied? We all know who that was. Michael Jackson. In the movie Michael, his dad would make fun of him and call him Big Nose. And the media nitpicked, you know? Oh, he felt like his acne. You know, that was an insecurity of his, was his acne, and then became his nose. His dad called him Big Nose. And because of that, he turned to plastic surgery. So much plastic surgery, his nose started caving in. And I'm pretty sure he could barely breathe. That much nose jobs, and his nose is caving in. His septum was deviated pretty badly. It's not a lie. He was probably struggling and having breathing problems with the amount of nose jobs that he got done because of people like you who make people feel insecure. That's why a lot of women get gigantic boobs. Like, for me, I've never understood having, like, beanbag sized boobs, okay? Whatever people do with their money is on them. I'm not gonna bash people for any type of plastic surgery because it's their money. Whatever they do is on them. But that one girl that had, I don't know if it was 3 boobs or 2, and one of them exploded, yeah, she got infected. Someone showed actual saline implants, and when her saline implants were taken out, it was mold. She had molded implants inside her body. K. Michelle took her BBL out. She had that removed. A lot of these surgeries are damaging your body. It's not even about people saying, hey, having an issue and trying to tell people what to do with their bodies. But it's not healthy. It's damaging your body. Having that big of breasts is damaging your body. Especially if it's not natural. And especially when that busted inside of her, all that fluid went everywhere. It went everywhere. So now she's probably going to have to suffer with unknown whatever comes up that she doesn't know is going to come up because of an infection. It's just crazy. Shaming for having implants is not misogynistic. Actually, getting plastic surgery, a lot of people get plastic surgery for men. It is misogyny pushes people to plastic surgery. So saying that someone, making fun of someone I'm not even making fun of someone, but talking about plastic surgery and you say I'm not shaming people. Actually, that's the opposite. Because for women to get that big of boobs is for the attention. Like, let's call it for what it is, right? They're trying to garner some sort of attention from somebody. May not be men either. Women as well. When they walk around, they love the reactions they get from people being like, oh my God. Women alike, whether it's a negative reaction or a good reaction, they feed off of that attention. There is no way. People walk around looking abnormal because they want that attention. The girl who literally made herself look like a real life Barbie doll. There is, you can't lie. Like, if I wanted to get bigger boobs than what I have, it's, some people, and I'm talking about the really extreme. I'm not talking about going up a few sizes because you want bigger boobs because you feel like yours are too small. I'm talking about the ones that go to the extreme and they get ones that look like beanbag size. And you know what I'm talking about, those overly gigantic ones. I'm not talking about someone that just feels like they want a little bit bigger boobs. No, I'm not talking about those people that want attention. I'm talking about the ones that make their body look abnormal. You know what I mean? Like that one girl that had the big boobs and one of them busted. If you're walking around with these shirts, right, and tube top shirts, mind you, and you're walking around with these gigantic boobs out in front of you, you can't just negate the fact that that's not for attention. That's literally for attention. There's no other reason. And the shirts that they're wearing, especially people, and I'm not saying all people that alter their bodies. People want a crazy reaction out of people. Some people do it for the reactions. Whoa, like and not I know some people that didn't split their tongue for attention, but people that have, because it's cool. You don't see people walking around every day with a split tongue. You don't see people walking around every day with a horn coming out of their skin. You don't see people walking around every day with these abnormal, they alter the heck out of their bodies, especially with a butt that is so big that it's abnormally big. You know what I mean? Like, who wants to walk around with a butt that big that, you can barely fit anywhere? Like, no. And especially women that have naturally big butts like that, they can tell you the issues they have to face or the issues they have to go through. Why would anyone want those problems? There is a girl, Gracie. I forget her name. Anyways, she has lymphedema. But people believe she got surgery to make her butt look that big. Lymphedema is a disease that, what is it? Your nerve? I'm trying to think what it is. It's like your nerve veins or something. Something's messed up with them, and your body swells in one area bigger than the other. So, like Wendy Williams, she has lymphedema in her legs. That's why her legs look swollen like that, because it's lymphedema. For Gracie, it's her butt, and whatever surrounding areas around that is lymphedema. But people think that she got the surgery for a bigger butt for attention, which is not true. Sometimes we have to really be careful and decipher plastic surgery from real bodies. Like, it's like sitting here nitpicking someone's body and then saying we want real bodies or support real bodies, but then when it comes to the real bodies, you're body shaming them, and then people alter their body. And a lot of these people have been bullied. A lot of these people that get plastic surgery were bullied. That's why they got plastic surgery. My burning brother. That's not even your real profile picture. I was gonna say something, but I know that's not your real profile picture, Maria. Because if you put your real profile picture, it'd probably match next to Jabba the Hutt. I mean, you can't even show your real face. You troll with someone else's face. Maybe you don't show your face because your parents are ashamed of you. And that's why you don't show your face, because, your insecurities, right? People have bullied you to the point where you don't want to show your face. And you're talking about my burning brother. The only thing that you should be worried about is when one of your family members has to burn, okay? When the time comes, one of your family members is going to burn. Probably already burned to a crisp. They probably asked you before they put your family member in, original or extra crispy. I mean, what, do you want a 12-piece or do you want a 32-piece? That's what they was asking you. Let's get that one pack. What pack you be smoking? Like, your whole family be passing that pack around. Like, corny? Oh, no, corny. Yeah, to a crisp. Did you know that when people are cremated, people's residues, so my brother's ashes is mixed with someone else because they can't 100% clean, where they, cremate people, crematory. So the crematorium, they can't 100% clean people, but, so my brother's mixed with other people, which is very, very weird to think about. You know, I'm trying to fulfill my mom's wishes and bury my brother. You know, when people say, you know, you could just spread his ashes, and I don't want to carry him around in a necklace. I'd be carrying somebody else around. I don't want to have him with me because I'm carrying somebody else around. I'm carrying pieces of somebody else's loved one mixed in with my brother. Like, that's not even a joke. Like, the morgue, they literally can't 100% clean after they cremated someone else. So your loved one is mixed with somebody else. No, it's not lies. Look it up. Even a mortician will tell you that. A literal mortician made a video talking about that. I saw a video. It's a literal mortician. And I don't even know why I got onto that video. It was like on YouTube, I think. And I had to stop watching because death for me is... Yeah, I don't take death very well. Especially the fact I'm afraid of death. Like, in a sense of like, yeah, you know, sometimes I'm like, I'm ready to go. But death to me is scary. Like, you never wake up. And, you know, here's this thing that people are telling you about heaven. What if heaven is not real? What if you die and heaven is just the placeholder so you're not afraid of dying? They just tell you heaven exists so you don't be afraid of dying. You're going to go to this wonderful place, but once you die, what if your world just goes black? I think that's what happened when you die. Like, everything just goes black. And that's it. Lights are out. Like, especially when you die. Like, for some people, I don't know what some instances are, like, how the person is dying, but I think for 10 seconds your brain is working and then it stops. So you're dead. You have no movement whatsoever except your brain and your eyes. You have function for like 10 seconds, but you can't move. I think it was 10 or 5 seconds. Like, it's not performative depression. Think about it. We're all gonna die. We don't live forever. Nobody can live forever. There's this guy that is actively paying loads of money to live forever. I don't think no amount of money is gonna save you from living forever. I don't. You could put all kinds of money into this science, medical science, and think that science is gonna save you and help you live forever. I think you die. I think we all are going to die. It doesn't matter how much money you put into trying to live forever. You cannot live forever. Talking about this, what is it, chrono? You know, freezing your body. Like they claim Walt Disney is frozen under Disneyland or whatever, wherever it's at. Yeah, Disneyland, I think it was. Like, it's so crazy to even think about it. You know what I saw? Someone sent me a screenshot too, and I forgot to save that. So, they're mad because I found the kiwi farm, right? The kiwi farm, which someone told me, is a place where they're ableist and they're racist. And for me, I don't understand why people is defending the fact that they called me a dirty M-word. And I'm not going to repeat it because that's all horrible things to say. And then they got mad at me because I posted that. But you're being racist and prejudiced and ableist, and you thought you was going to get away with that. So now they're mad because I found out about the kiwi farms because someone told me, and I'm not going to say who. But what I was going to say, and then I forgot. I was talking about, someone said that because I found the kiwi farm, that basically I'm gonna die. Now, why would you tell me I'm gonna die and say one way or another she's gonna die? I don't know. It was a whole thing insinuating that basically, because I found the kiwi farms, I'm not going to make it out alive. Let me tell you something that is legal. Okay? I have protection around me. So if you're insinuating death in any way, shape, or form, the only person who's going to need life insurance first is you. Because I don't understand why people are making these threats. I am not dying because I found a kiwi farm, okay? People will die before I do. Self-defense. Like, what even possessed you to even say something like that? You know someone has PTSD and you proceed to say that since I found the kiwi farm, I'm gonna die. Like, however you stated it, it was a weird statement to make. One way or another, she's gonna die if she doesn't, like, I think they insinuated something about taking myself out, or they're gonna take me out. That literally does not make sense. No, it's a literal screenshot. I got proof. It's a literal screenshot of somebody saying something because of the fact I found that kiwi farms. Someone said, "Do you know about the kiwi farm?" And I was like, "The kiwi farm about you?" And I was like, "No, what is that?" And they were like, "It's a place where they're racist and ableist." Mind you, these MFers are scrambling so badly that they're privatizing their pages. They privatized the Discord. They privatized the chat. You want to know why they It's a repeat of Isaac's Discord 2.0. Chew Crew 2.0. You can run and privatize all the chats you want. That's not going to stop me from getting information. And I don't have anybody in the Discord to give me information. They provided it to me. You ain't doing nothing new that Isaac hasn't done. To be running and privatizing your Discord is not going to stop me. Your Discord is going to get taken down, and I don't have to tell people to report it. Now that people know what you've been saying in the Discord, your Discord is going to get shut down, and you're going to make it and put up another one. Trust me, that's how the Chew Crew got taken down. And I didn't tell people to report it, mind you. The Discord got 300,000. This is from someone who has connections to somebody in Discord that gave me this information. 300,000 reports on that Chew Crew Discord. Do you know how crazy that is for 300,000 people to report a Discord? 300,000 people. And this has nothing to do with being in defense of me. Because the F shit that people were saying. You think you're going to get away with being racist? First of all, even talking about my family. What gives you the right to talk about my dad and his bipolar, like, if you care, and then say the only sane person in the family was my brother? Like, the only normal person. My brother was in special ed. I was in special ed. To literally make fun of my disability is whack. You whack as hell. You're a whack ass. You're whack. If you sit in a Discord being racist, and yet you come on my page and people say, "Oh, you're racist," then what about that Discord? Y'all was sitting in there being racist and being ableist. Not only that, the Discord literally has minors in the Discord talking about, "You're gonna see me naked like Mama Chew. I saw Mama Chew half naked." That's weird. That's a weird thing to be saying in a group, in a chat that has minors in it, talking about, "You're gonna see me naked." But yeah, you guys claim you care about minor safety, but when it comes to predators in your own backyard, you don't say nothing. Who said I'm trying to get disability benefits? I didn't say I'm trying to get disability benefits. Yeah, they did. They said in the Discord, which I have a screenshot of, I'm a minor, and then someone said, you're gonna see me naked. Like, I saw Mama Chew half naked, and I don't know. No one see my mom half naked. That's weird. That is weird. And the thing is, like, the people deflecting and putting it on me are the same people defending the predators. Because how come no one is outraged by that? Considering the fact that how many times have they said that there was predators in the Reddit and ain't nobody spoke up? Hello? Like, No, someone said that in the Discord. I have a screenshot. They said they saw Mama Chew half naked, and then they said, you're gonna see me naked. Like, I saw Mama Chew half naked. Then, which nobody see my mom half naked. Then there was someone in there that said, I'm a minor. And literally, they were having a whole conversation about, you're gonna see me naked. Like, what the heck? I don't gotta make this stuff up. There's proof someone sent it to me. I have to go save it. So I'm gonna have to end live and then save it and then come back. My mom sent it to me because she got screenshots from someone else who started directly sending screenshots to me. What are you supposed to do with this information? Well, I told you it's a Discord, and I told you it's a Discord about me. What you're supposed to do with this information is report it to the FBI. If I report it to the FBI, it's not going to make a difference because the FBI... Sorry, the 20% battery came up. The FBI will not do anything if it's one person reporting. The FBI won't do anything. It has to be more than one person making a report for the FBI to even do anything. One person alone reporting it to the FBI is not going to do anything. Multiple people have to report it. Now that you know the information, right, and you're saying, what can I do with it? What you can do is STF you because you're a predator. If you're defending that and you have to ask the question, what would you do in the situation? Let's say if it was me in that situation, you would have ran and called the cops. Let's not lie. You know what to do in this situation. You just choose not to do it. How old are you that you don't know what to do in a situation that involves minors? Call the cops. Call the FBI so they can investigate. That's the stupidest question I heard. You're just making an excuse to not report something. It's crazy because if it was me, you would have reported it right away. Anyways, let me put my phone on the charger. Let me save that photo and then I'll come back. Well then, here's the thing. If you say nobody gives a F about this, then why are people calling me a predator? If they don't give a F, then they shouldn't be calling me a predator because they don't care about predators. They don't care about child safety. You see, you're speaking for people. So literally, you just spoke for everyone and said that they defend predators. That person just said that you all defend predators. They just said you don't give a F. You just spoke for them. You literally just said nobody gives a F. Hello. Sorry, I had to put my phone on the charger. So comfy. I just wish I had some entertainment. If that's the case. How did the wind just do that? What? Oh. Did what? Dude. What bunk, mate? I don't have a bunk. I don't have a bunk. Because it's daytime. Why are you asking questions? Never forget. Okay. I don't know. Cover his piece. Because my phone is charging. Fuck. Stay on. Okay. Okay, so the first one says, let's see here. It says right there, it says not ID verification, Chu. Then Geo responded and said, nuh-uh, I'm a minor, sorry. Sorry, I accidentally muted it. So Geo says, nuh-uh, I'm a minor. They continue to have conversation ignoring the fact that someone said, I'm a minor. Now, let's not say someone's joking and saying that they're a minor, because that is also weird. Because why are you as a grown adult saying I'm a minor? So let's not justify it that way either, because I know people will. Then here is the other one that I was telling you guys about. It literally, that is Geo. Isn't that not the same person that said I'm a minor, talking about you're gonna see me naked? I just saw Mama Chu half naked. You are fine. Then they replied, you're gonna see me naked next. That is literally the same person that just said I'm a minor. And for those of you who are illiterate and don't know how to read, Geo. Nuh-uh, I'm a minor, sorry. Geo. You're gonna see me naked next. For the illiterate people that really don't know how to read. My life revolves around the Discord, so you're defending pedophilia? You're defending the fact that a minor just said they're going to show themselves naked to somebody? Why are we defending that? Because if it was me and I was in there and someone said that and I didn't say anything, you would expose me. Let's stop acting like you can't expose somebody. Oh, now all of a sudden you forgot how to expose? Is that it? You don't know how to do that. Oh, you don't know how to do that because it's people you want to defend. And the reason why I said if it was me, because y'all are quick when it comes to me. But when it's somebody else, you don't want to do nothing. You cannot sit here and talk about how you're for minor safety, but you don't care when a minor is being put in danger. You don't care when a minor is being put in danger. One person cannot report to the FBI and the FBI is just going to get up and do something. A lot of people got to make reports. One person is not going to make motion. Sorry, I'm drinking orange juice. It would. Because the thing is that you can't come in my live stream and call me a predator and then defend a predator. That's stupid. That's like someone from MAGA calling out somebody being a predator and they supported the biggest predator of them all. Because Trump is a predator. He's in the Epstein files I don't even know how many times. You heard someone say I'm a predator, so you run with it. And then you're quick to call me out. Especially, you have called me out. You have lied on me and said I have said inappropriate things to minors and messages. No, I haven't. I have never spoken to a minor inappropriately. Let's not lie. I don't speak to minors by themselves inappropriately. One time there was this girl, and I'm going to explain. We had a group chat for someone that we were all in support of. This girl made it seem like she was going to the Olympics. She was in gymnastics. She got her supposed acceptance letter to compete in competitions to help push her to, not push her, well, yeah, to help further her for the Olympics. So basically, these competitions she was going to compete in, basically was working her way up to the Olympics. These are prestigious competitions to get you into the Olympics. So we were all in support of that, right? Obviously, that is huge. That's like a huge step closer to the Olympics. Come to find out, this girl was stealing someone else's photos, some other girl's photos, some other girl's pictures, which I found out and had to report to the guy that we had the group chat for, because she was sending him a lot of gifts, spending a lot of money. And that should have been something that I should have raised a red flag, because what kind of a minor has money like that to be spending that much money? And it wasn't even just small gifts here and there. Those gifts added up. It was like thousands of dollars. And to me, it's like, what kind of a person has money like that? And I understand people that do gymnastics that are going up prestigious competitions to the Olympics. Their parents probably have a lot of money. But anyways, so I'm not even, first of all, when you say I'm talking about minors, I'm not even talking inappropriately about minors. I'm not a man, you know. I'm trying to refrain from saying stuff because what I was told was what I had been saying was wrong, because I was going to say the only person that is a man is your mom in bed. So I would suggest you leave people alone, because I'm not a man. I'm not even talking inappropriately about minors, and I'm telling the story because it's important to get a backstory on what I was just talking about. I don't talk inappropriately to minors and DMs, and I'm explaining. So anyways, this girl had talked to me. First of all, she asked me to be in the group chat. I asked everyone, they said it was okay, because she had told me the guy liked me. Mind you, everyone had been saying this to me because of a video that, it was a whole thing. Basically, when someone, it was like, oh, you got the best video out of everyone. Just things like that. And people don't go the extra mile for someone they don't like. I just brushed it off as like, no, I don't think so. You know, I just kept brushing it off. Plus, I had another friend that was obsessed. And any time something like that would get brought up, she would have snapped. She would have got angry. She would have said, no, he does not like her. Stop saying that. You know, like, she would have got hella mad. Anyways, that does not pertain to the story. So, this girl got caught. She wrote a message to everyone privately in private DMs. And I just had a small, brief conversation to her. I don't remember what I said, but I was pissed off. Like, you catfished all of us. You pretended that you were going to the gym, to the Olympics. You stole someone's photos and you were not truthfully honest. You were pretending to be someone this whole time when you could have been yourself. And that's the only brief conversation I had with them. I don't even know if they were a minor or not. I don't even know how old the person was, because, you know, they were catfishing. So I can't even say. And it wasn't even an inappropriate interaction. They just privately DM'd everyone. And I said my piece. And then I just left it at that because I was pissed off. Like, you asked me to join this group chat, which I did. You had me get other people involved. And the fact that you catfished and lied to everyone. Mind you, minors don't have that amount of money to be spending on one person. I was under the assumption that it could be an old man behind the screen. Because what other logic? Like, there is no way a minor has that amount of money. There is no way. No, I didn't lose the plot. The reason why I brought it up is because I said people try to say I had inappropriate conversations with minors when I never had. That's why I brought up that conversation. Because I know for a fact that if I say, I don't have conversations with minors outside of their parents not being involved. That would be weird. That just doesn't make sense. But anyways, she catfished all of us, and I was just essentially pissed off because I was like, why would you catfish? Like, why would you do that? You could have just been honest. And to me, I think it was a grown adult behind the other screen, for the simple fact is that the amount of gift points she was sending this guy, this was thousands of dollars. This was not no $100 here, $100 there. This guy that I was in support of was making bank, and is making bank. Not just from the YouTube videos, but the gift points, the music, the things that he was putting out there. These girls, and let me tell you something, there was minors that sent loads of money. This girl talking about her family's rich. My friend, who was a grown adult, was in battle with a minor because she was jealous that she would send more gifts than her. And not only that, when you sent gifts to people, they guested you. On Musically, when it was Musically, if you sent, remember, there was a gift that used to be called the dab reel. If you don't know, it was a move called the dab. And it was this little blue guy called the dab reel, which is a very expensive gift. At the time, that gift was like $50. One gift, it was a $50 gift, which was one gift. Yes, it was weird. It was weird. Like, she was in battle with this minor because she was jealous because the said minor was sending more gifts than her. And she didn't like that. She didn't like that, and she started sending gifts. And I'm talking about, she was spending a lot of money on this guy. And a lot of girls did. And I noticed that a lot of men, and this wasn't him. Like, he was a normal person and people just sent him gifts. But I've noticed the people that I used to see on lives that I used to support, they were eating up the fact that they knew they looked attractive and that people sent them gifts. I know one guy really took advantage of that, and I feel like he's the type of guy that wouldn't be like that, but he was like that because, hey, once you start getting this little attention, you run with it. Even though I think one time he did admit. But anyways, it's things like that, and I thought it was weird. Like, why are you battling a minor on who could send the most gifts? And for that girl to be bragging at the fact that her family's rich, you're spending thousands of dollars on some dude. You're a minor, and he's way older than you, mind you, and he's not going to catch a case for you just for this guy. Like, what are you going to explain to your parents when they look at the bills and be like, why are you spending this much money to send some guy a gift on live that's way older than you? Like, some of these kids have no control. They literally have no self-control. They're out of control. Willy-nilly, they get to do whatever they want. If I spent hundreds of dollars on gifts when I was at their age, to someone on a live stream, if live streams existed, I don't know if they existed when I was a teen, my parents would have knocked me one. If I would have spent money like that, oh, phew, I wouldn't be here to tell the story. Like, some of y'all's parents let you do whatever you want and run rampant. And some of y'all need to. And it's the fact that these kids be spending thousands of dollars just to get noticed by someone. And it was crazy. They were doing that on Musical.ly. Like, one of the biggest grifters is Paul Zimmerman. Paul Zimmerman. You remember Zimmerman. He goes by a new name now. He tried to reinvent himself or change his name and come back and has headshots. He's trying to be an actor. He used to date this girl, Rosie. They had a baby. Yeah, Paul Zimmerman was in my live stream. Paul Zimmerman joined my live one time and didn't say anything. When I had Musical.ly live streams, crowned musers, at the time there was no verification check. On Musical.ly it was a crown. If you got a crown, that was basically your verification. I had crowned musers join my live stream. One guy pretended to be my friend for almost a week on a Friday, right? Because I worked at Dunkin' at that time. So then the whole week went by and I was like, oh, cool, you know, this verified person, crowned muser, wants to be my friend. So then that Friday, he messaged me and he's like, can you buy me, I think Galaxies existed then. There was like a gift. I think Galaxies existed on Musical.ly too. It was a big gift and he asked me if I could send him one. And I was like, I don't know, I'll see, because I get paid and I had to figure out my bills. But then I just lied. I just told him that I wasn't going to send him no gift. First of all, you're asking me to send you a gift. You had been talking to me like you wanted to be my friend the whole time, and you were just using me so at the end of the week you could ask me to send you this gift. The whole time he said you want to be friends, I was like, cool, you know, I was having a conversation with this dude, you know, friendly conversation. And then that Friday he was like, can you send me a gift? And I was like, I said, I don't know, I'll have to think about it. That's how crazy it was on Musical.ly. I'm talking about Musical.ly since you're lost. Musical.ly, there was so many grifters, it's not even crazy. Like, Lauren Godwin was probably one of the biggest grifters. These people would say, I'll react to your videos for a dab reel. And then people would send it so they could have the videos reacted to. You don't even know how much money. I bet you musers back then was probably making more money than TikTokers now. And TikTokers grift too. The people on lives, they grift to get people to send gifts. Musers were crazy. And when the coin drops happened, that was the biggest grift of them all. Oh, you remember the treasure chest? So there used to be coin drops on Musical.ly. I wish they would bring that back, because man, but people took advantage of that, and I think that's why they don't bring it back. So a coin drop was a treasure chest that popped up on your screen. Whoever clicked it the fastest got coins. Those coins went to your gifts. So people would do the coin drops all the time and save it up to send someone a gift. And it was a free coin drop that the person on the live did. So the person hosting the live would do a coin drop and basically say, I'm going to do a coin drop. Guys, get ready. The first fastest 10 people to click the treasure box got coins. Mind you, there would be thousands of people on the live. So people would host coin drop lives. They would say, hey, if we get to 100,000 likes, because likes got you on a leaderboard. Now the leaderboard is based off of diamonds and gift points. Back then, there was two separate leaderboards. One was for gifts and the other one was for likes. So if you got 100,000 likes, you was on the leaderboard. And so people would lie all the time. They would say, I'm going to drop a coin drop at 100,000. Then they would make up some excuse to get people to get 200,000. They would never do coin drops. Some people they abused the system when it came to coin drops so much so that they tricked people into watching their live. That's what it was. But those coin drops were crazy because you would sit there, you would wait, and then click, 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 click. And I can't tell you how much coins I literally had saved from coin drops because it was enough to gift a lot of gifts. Like, I saved up my coin drops. Like, whenever there was a coin drop, I never spent not one coin. I was like, you know what, I'll just save it up. I saved up over 100 coins. Plus, I saved up more than that. I probably saved up to 1,000 coins. Or probably 1,000 plus coins. It used to be a thing on Musical.ly. It was called a coin drop. And they had like this treasure chest. And basically the treasure chest, the coins drop. And you gotta be the first out of 10 people to click it. And whoever was the fastest got coins. And it was a battle. Like, people would get, like, there would be 5,000 people in a live trying to collect coins, and someone would say, I'm going to do a coin drop, and then they would scam people and they wouldn't do it, and then they would say, I'm doing a coin drop at 100K. Then they would say, make some excuse and be like, something, we need to hit 200,000 to do a coin drop. Then they push it even further till people started to catch on. They was never going to do a coin drop. But people didn't care because they were so entertained that they didn't realize that the person had never done the coin drop. And some new people would come in and then they wouldn't even, it was a thing. So anyways, it went from there. And the thing is like, oh, and the reason why I was going to say something about Musical.ly is because a lot of people duetted, videos. That's what it was on Musical.ly. If you were trying to be a content creator / influencer on Musical.ly, that's what a lot of people did. I don't understand why people will be like, oh my god. Like, I know the Reddit has shared some videos where they're like, oh my god, look at her duets with this. First of all, it's not even inappropriate. Second of all, a lot of adults duetted minors on Musical.ly. That does not make them predators. It was a thing on Musical.ly. If you were on Musical.ly, you had to be on Musical.ly to get it. That's like trying to expect someone to get Vine that wasn't on Vine. If you weren't on Vine when Vine was a thing, you're not going to get Vine. People are going to be like, why are people making these stupid 5-second videos? These 5-second clips trying to go viral on Vine. Like, that's a whole other thing. If you're not on Vine, you're not going to get it. Viners get Vine. Just like musers get Musical.ly, right? It had nothing to do with being inappropriate. If you wanted to be a content creator / influencer, that's what you did. You were trying to do exactly what the content creators / influencers were doing to go viral. Or was doing to even... I had several instances where I have literally cared about the safety of minors. One of which, there was this account that had liked, and I've mentioned this before, there was an account that had liked one of my videos. And I thought it was Baby Ariel at first. I thought it was a Baby Ariel. If you know Baby Ariel, then you know. Baby Ariel was a huge muser on Musical.ly that has been in some shows for Disney. She ended up moving to Disney. It's a whole thing, and I think she's Zionist now. I think from what I last seen that someone said she supports Israel or something. I don't know. All I know is that she became so popular that she started acting on Disney Channel. She was like huge back in the day. And so I thought it was a Baby Ariel account. So I was like, oh cool. And back then I wanted to give a support to people that supported me. So I clicked on the page because I was like, let me see their videos. Let me like some of their videos and go support them. They were live. So I clicked on the live because I was like, oh, they're live. Let me go support their live. I clicked on the live. This dude is straight up dry heaving. Not even dry heaving, heaving. Like you could hear him making these moaning noises, and he's straight up yoinking it on the live. Like just laying there on the couch, straight up comfortable, everything, hand in his pants. I think he might have been wearing shorts, just straight up yoinking it. What are you talking about? I don't have anyone above me. Anyways, like I was saying, so this dude, right? He's just yoinking it on live, and I just like freaked out because I was like, what the heck? I had never seen anyone doing that on a live, so I told people, do not click on the live, report the account, because if there was a minor that had went to the live and saw him doing that, I didn't want them to get traumatized, because that is a trauma. That was not even like joking, like, oh, don't go, you're gonna get traumatized. Like, no, some people could be triggered by that. And so they nobody told me to be quiet. Anyways, so my PTSD, I freaked out. That's what happened. I freaked out. Anyways, so this one girl had come into my life. Mind you, you don't even understand just how much I had saved minors from things on Musically, because Musically in of itself did nothing, well, somewhat to an extent. They didn't really protect minors, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's so crazy how people are like, you had conversations with minors, you were in group chats with minors. I don't know why I have to keep going back and explaining and putting people's personal business out, but I feel like since that's becoming a topic, I do need to explain, because people are like bringing that back up. There was only 2 minors in the group chat. The rest were closer to my age. Now, these minors were talking about harming themselves. They were in abusive homes. Like, for me, I didn't know what to do in this situation, because I think both of them, I'm pretty sure it was both of them. You know how they are like, oh, don't report, don't say anything, don't do anything, But even CYFD or Child Protective Services does not care about the children. And even I knew that back then. So I didn't call CYFD because I knew that it would not be, they'd go into a worse situation. It wasn't really bad abuse to, like, I don't I don't know if they physically got abused. I think it was mentally. But they were talking about harming themselves. So I said, "Hey, let me I talked to them. I was like, I had to be the person. Sorry, the chat froze, so I had to restart it. So I'm gonna address a comment that someone said there shouldn't be any minors in my group chat. First of all, it was not my group chat. I don't know why I have to keep constantly explaining that. There was other adults in the group chat, which no one wants to acknowledge because they want to blame me because they don't like me out of the other adults, which is so weird. I was not having inappropriate conversations with minors, which is so weird. But to pinpoint me out of the other adults is weird. And I don't know how many times I've had to explain it. It was not my chat. So, there's that. I don't know why someone is saying there shouldn't be minors in your chat. Well, it wasn't my chat, so I don't have a control or say over who's allowed in the chat, considering the chat was for support of a large content creator on Musical.ly. But anyways, back to the story I was talking about. So anyways, these girls were going through a very hard time, and like I said, I would feel responsible if someone I knew took their life. I stepped in and had to help. Me and other adults stepped in to prevent these minors from taking their life. I knew what it was like at a young age to have thoughts of taking my life. In elementary school, I wanted to take my life. I was being bullied so badly that I didn't even want to live in elementary school. The bullying was bad. It wasn't just, when I was in middle school, this guy turned around, looked me straight in my face. I remember his name was Freddie. And he looked me dead in my face and said, "Do you know you're ugly?" These things stick with you, especially at 16 years old when your dad is telling you you're a fat cow, you need to lose weight. That stuck with me. These things, when I have conversations, I'm preventing people from things, right? I'm not in no way a medical professional, but some people do not feel safe to call the hotline. What am I going to do? Direct them to a hotline? They're not even going. They'll probably harm themselves before they call the hotline. Some of these people don't even feel comfortable to reach out to a hotline. So that's why I was there. And you could say that that's lies all you want, but I never had inappropriate conversations. I didn't become close friends with minors. I became close friends with the ones that were closer to my age. That group chat was not mine. So for someone to bring up the group chat is so weird. And I'm going to tell you what happened. 2 trolls got into the group chat. I don't remember how they got into the group chat. So I was fighting them, telling them, leave the group chat. Just please leave. They started being nasty. And we were all in there having a conversation. The group chat was kind of dying a little bit. But they said, just let it go. Just let them have it. So I was like, so then a lot of people just left because they got tired of the negativity. They're like, you're fighting these people. We don't really care anymore about the group chat. And I just left. I had to just leave. So for them to be sharing stuff outside the group chat, and literally what they shared was not even me talking inappropriate to minors. They just started being really weird and started saying some things. And because on Instagram, if you have a large group chat, I don't know now, but back then you could have a moderator. And we was not the moderator. The person that was the moderator was hardly ever in the chat anyways. And it was about, the group chat was for him, and he was hardly in there, and he couldn't remove them. The only person that could remove people was a moderator. It used to be you could remove people yourself, but they refused to leave. So anyways, what happened was that You know what I mean? Like, it's just a lot. So, anyways, it's still weird to talk to minors in their messages. Any context if you're not their family. Garla Lover. I just explained that I don't have conversations with minors by themselves. When I had conversations with the minors that tried to harm themselves, I said me and other adults intervened to stop them from taking their life. That means they were in a group chat with other adults. They were not in a chat by myself. I've never had a conversation with a minor by themselves, and I just explained a situation where we got catfished, and I do not know how old the person was behind the screen that pretended to be a minor going to the Olympics in a group chat that I allowed her to be in, and I'm going to explain. So there was this girl that had joined our group chat. I had already explained it earlier, that basically lied about going to the Olympics, stole a minor's photos, pretended to be said minor going to the Olympics. Now, I don't know who was behind the other screen. They wrote every single person a personal message apologizing for getting caught for catfishing and saying that they were sorry, that they feel so bad for being a catfish, which I was mad. And I think I kind of wrote a message. I didn't target them. I was kind of like, it was like a forgiving type thing. Anyways, long story short, that's the only message I've ever had with someone. And mind you, I don't even know if they was a minor or not because they catfished. And the thing that clues me into them possibly not being a minor was because they were sending very expensive gifts to this guy. And minors don't have that type of money like that. Like, who's going to be sending hundreds of dollars to someone? If you're a minor, you're not sending hundreds of dollars unless you stole your parents' credit card and then they later find out. But this girl was sending expensive gift points a lot. And it wasn't just like, in one day. It was like days. Anytime he would go live, she would send a bunch of gift points. And to me, that should have literally clued me into, like, is this really a minor? Because minors don't have money like that unless they have their own personal business. And even then, if they were running a successful business, there is no way that they would send loads of gifts like that. But anyways, like I said, the group chat got brought up and people was like, oh my gosh, she was in this group chat with a bunch of minors. No, I wasn't. Now let's address the Zoom. I was in a Zoom call with a bunch of adults. Mind you, we had a Zoom sleepover. We were in there for like days. We would like go do things. We would like mute the chat. But we were all hanging out in the Zoom. This was for another content creator who was huge on TikTok. And we all became sort of online friends through we had a telegram group which had like 500 people in it, I think, because Instagram does not allow a lot of people to in one group. So we made a group on Telegram. We would play Werewolf. I think that's what the game is called. I don't know if you guys remember Werewolf on Telegram. That's a fun game to play with people. So basically, it's kind of like Among Us, and you gotta find who the killer is. Like Among Us, you find out who the killer is, and basically you are given a role, and whoever the killer is kills people until the person says you're the werewolf. Until people start voting one person out one at a time. And if you get voted out, then, and technically you lose, even if you are not the wolf. So anyways. So, I didn't know that they had CSAM or CSM, whatever that is. I don't know anything much about the app except you needed a phone number to sign up. I know that we had made a group there, and this was like the early stages of like TikTok. So this is like when TikTok had first turned from TikTok to Musical.ly. This was during COVID. This was all during COVID, so I don't even know anything about what happened on the app. I'm not even on Telegram anymore. I don't even use Telegram. But I used it for that group chat because nobody was going to be active in the other chats on Instagram just because not everybody was allowed in there. So, yeah. Anyways, that happened and we did a Zoom together. They were like, why don't we just Zoom together and have like a sleepover kind of thing? First of all, what kind of a minor is going to be allowed to be on a Zoom call for days? Mind you, we were on that Zoom call for like 3 days, I think it was. Some of these people literally were grown adults that were going to the laundromat, washing clothes, going to their jobs, going to the gym and working out. Someone had a screenshot of the Zoom call. I don't know where they got that from. And basically tried to say, look, she was in a Zoom call with all these minors. First of all, is it hard for you to understand that some adults look young? So you assume because they look like they're minors, they must be minors? That's a thing. That's why people say, why are you dating someone that looks like a minor? Because they get weirded out. And it's like, some people do. They will date adults that look like they're 12 because they're into that thing, which is weird. But anyways, these were adults. Mind you, I was in that Zoom call at the time my friend had died and was having her service. I went to her service and I was still on the Zoom call on mute because I muted it. I had a laptop at the time. Like, I had a laptop at the time. And as a matter of fact, my laptop still might be in storage. Or I don't know if I still have that laptop. Anyways, I know I had the Chromebook and that's long gone because everything in the car got auctioned off. But I had another laptop before then that I used. Anyways, yeah, so to literally talk about me being in this Zoom call with minors, why did you lie like that? None of those people were minors. There was only two people that were minors in the Telegram, and they were twins. And they're actually from the same city and state that I'm from. And mind you, that's not even my group chat. I don't even know why people keeps blaming me for someone else's group chat. Nobody talks inappropriate in there. And first of all, it was just talks about K-pop. A lot of these people would talk about K-dramas. They would talk about K-pop. They would talk about BLs. BLs is boys love boys drama. Anyways, they would talk about stuff like that. There was no inappropriate talk whatsoever. And the thing that I wanted to talk about was why do people continuously lie? There is no place to leave reviews for a shelter or a place that I'm at. When you say that they're leaving reviews, I don't believe it. First of all, I'm not in the Discord. Someone sent my mom screenshots. That's a lie. Second of all, if they claim they have my address, they don't. They could leave reviews wherever the heck they want, but I'm not there. They're harassing a place that I'm not at again. They ain't gonna find where I'm at because this place is not listed online. Plus, I'm not at a shelter. I'm not anywhere. I'm in a tent. People don't need to know where I'm at. And even so, there is no place to report. It's not online. I don't think a bridge is online. I'm not even talking to kids. I just literally said that. They tried to lie and say I was in a Zoom call with kids when I wasn't. All those people that was in the Zoom call sleepover was adults. What are we doing? Why do you keep saying that? Do you have a hard time hearing, or are you trying to twist my words? Now I sound like Tweety, but are you or who's that, Sylvester? Are you trying to twist my words? Or Elmer Fudd? That's who. Are you trying to twist my words? Schooly Wabbit. Twix off of kids. You know. I'll get you, you Schooly Wabbit. Anyways. It's just crazy. People love to twist things I say. Because they want to take things out of context on purpose. Nowhere did I say I was talking to minors. Mind you, I said the group chats that I were in was not my group chats. So I don't know why people are acting like I added minors to my group chats, because I've never had a group chat. I don't have a Discord. I do have a Discord that I was making, but then I decided against it because I already knew what was going to happen. Any Discord channel or chat that I was in, I joined. I never had a personal group chat. And if I did have a group chat with people, it's people that I know and trust, that I talk to every day. There was a group chat with 3 of us in there, and 2 of them were not trolls. But that's the only one group chat that I've had. Besides the other group chats that I was in, those were not my group chats. I never even started group chats. I already had some experiences with group chats. That's why I never made it. First of all, group chats have no control. People have added me to group chats and just started spamming the heck out of me, which I turned it off for anyone to add me to group chats. Then I started getting notifications like crazy. I don't join group chats because when someone does something, then you get blamed. I'm not going to be responsible if someone says something racist and then they say, oh, you didn't say anything, but I'm not in the group chat. I'm not going to be there 24/7. That is not my job. My job does not consist of a group chat. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to spend my 24/7 all day in a group chat just to make sure nobody's doing something that I'm going to get blamed for. And I'm not saying racism is okay. That's not what I'm saying. But if I'm not in there monitoring the group chat 24/7, I do not want to be in one. I've never made a group chat and added people. Other people have made a group chat and added me. So for people to try to say your group chat, it was not my group chat. I didn't even start that group chat. That group chat was not started by me. None of the group chats were started by me. Not even the Telegram was started by me. Telegram was started by the other people that made the Instagram group chat for that person. All the group chats that I was in on Instagram was made by other people. And it was adults. It was not minors. Like, I don't know why people tries to lie on Reddit and say, oh, she was in these group chats with minors. You literally shared a picture of grown adults and blurred out their face. Are you stupid? Do you see how crazy these people are? They blurred out their face as if they're trying to pay respects and not show the minor's face that was on a Zoom call when you blurred out an adult's face to try to make it seem like it was a minor. Oh, we're not doxing the minor because that's why they blacked the minor's face out and scribbled out their face. It's not even a minor. I don't know why you blurred out an adult's face and tried to make it seem like it was a minor in a Zoom call. Whose parent is going to let their minor on a Zoom call for 3 days? That sounds ludicrous. There's no way that I'm not like, If that's the case and you're leaving your kid unattended for 3 days, then you've got issues. My kids are definitely not going to be on a Zoom call having no slumber party for 3 days with anyone online. Even if it's other kids their age, because that's weird. This was during COVID. So to try to lie like that is insane. And that's the reason why I say it was during COVID, is because people can't work. Everything was shut down. We were on lockdown. So people had time on their hands. Kids still had to go to school because school was online. But to try to sit here and blur an adult's face and make it seem like it's a minor is weird. Why go that extra mile to lie? I just literally explained the duets on Musical.ly. Or are you stupid? Now you're bringing up the duets on Musical.ly. First of all, we're not talking about duets on Musical.ly. I'm talking about group chats. You're deflecting from liable defamation and slander. You can't lie on someone and then deflect to duetting kids on Musical.ly. I've literally explained that. If you were not on Musical.ly, then you can't talk about Musical.ly. Because you don't get Musical.ly. That's like someone trying to tell someone about Vine that was never on Vine. If you weren't a Viner, then you don't get Vine. Musical.ly, a lot of adults duetted people on Musical.ly so that they can grow their following. I was trying to be a content creator. I was trying to make money. Hello. So yes, I was going to duet people because that was the thing to do on Musical.ly. I didn't make any inappropriate videos doing inappropriate things with minors and duetting them like that. Like, you guys make those duets weird. Like, why are you sexualizing that? If your mind immediately goes to sexual and kids, then there's something wrong with you. Because why are you involving sex with kids? If your mind immediately goes to that, then there's something wrong with you. No, you're not. You're not calling me out on anything, right? You said you're calling me out on my bullshit. But the thing is, Star, is why are you not calling out the Discord for having a minor in there talking about how people are going to see them naked? So you're arguing with me about minor safety, but you could give two fucks about what's going on in this Discord because Gio right here said, nuh-uh, I'm a minor, sorry. And then they responded to a comment that says, I just saw Mama Chu half naked. You are fine. You're gonna see me naked next. So your advocacy stops for the safety of minors when it comes to someone you don't like. You want to lie on them and call them a predator and a pedo, but when it's happening in a Discord, you don't want to report or say anything? Oh, now you're silent. Oh, now you don't want to speak up. Now all of a sudden, your mood is different. You can't talk about anything if you're not talking about predators all the way around. I'm not a predator. So why don't you address this? That is the screenshot. That is the screenshot. There is no uncropping. My mom sent that to me. That is literally someone else that took the screenshot like that. You don't need no context when it comes to a minor saying you're gonna see me naked next. What context do you need to see? I'm so sick and tired of people saying, let me see what someone said before then. I got sent this comment like this. You don't need to see what was said before then. Why is there a minor in the Discord saying that you're gonna see me naked next? You don't need no context to that. What kind of a minor is making jokes about you're gonna see me naked next in a Discord full of adults? I don't give a fuck. what context you need to see before this comment. If your kid was in this Discord, you'd flip. Why are we justifying that? It does not matter what the context was of why the minor made the joke. It's the fact that it is weird. If that was your child making jokes to a Discord full of adults talking about you're gonna see me naked next, you're not gonna care about what the context is. You're gonna flip out on your child and get mad at them and revoke their privileges. You're not gonna care what the context was of why your child made this joke. Are you gonna? So you're saying you're justifying a minor saying you're gonna see me naked next? You would justify your child talking like this around a group full of adults? That is weird. It literally says here, not ID verification chew. And Geo, mind you, since you're illiterate and you don't know how to read, because that's the same person that said you're going to see me naked next, says, nuh-uh, I'm a minor. Sorry. So why are we sitting here trying to justify the context? That screenshot was sent to me like that. So I can't revert anything because I didn't crop that. It was like that. And even if I was to get the uncropped version, what difference would that make? Why is it you're always trying to justify things when it comes to minors being put in danger? Like, because there's a lot of pedophiles on Discord, so why are you trying to justify that? Oh, you always have some sort of excuse when it's other people. You don't want to report it, just say that. You're a pedophile, just say that. There's no context that needs to be seen. This joke was not okay. Even if they were joking, like, who lets their minors joke like that? I would never let my kids literally joke about sexual things. Like, what? If your kids are making jokes about sex and being naked and that stuff, where do you think they learned that from? You let your kids run wild? I seen things that I should have not seen at a young age. I was forced to see. Mind you, my brother's friend, his cousin showed him porn at a young age. Mind you, him and my brother are the same age. They're in elementary school. My brother was 3 years younger than me, so I think I was 15, 16 at the time, like 15. So that's 14, 13, 12. My brother was like 12. He was still in elementary school. My brother's friend was bragging, and well, not even bragging, was basically, it was a cry for help, saying that his stepbrother, I believe it was his stepbrother, showed him porn videos and forced him to watch it. Hold on. Sorry, that scared the crap out of me. It was just something. It was wrong place. Anyways, like I was saying, that was being spread around. So my friend's brother had, obviously was being introduced among the guys, because my friend's brother had showed us some stuff and tried to say that my brother showed him, which was not the case, because my friend's brother was in middle school. We were in the same grade. We were in the same school. For you to say that an elementary school kid showed you porn is a lie. How does someone younger than you show you porn, and you're trying to justify that by showing porn to your sister's friend? I was 15 at the time, and I had spent the night. I was spending the night. It was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. My friend's brother comes downstairs. He takes over the TV, right? And I remember my friend used to be really into Kat Von D. That's how I remember Kat Von D, because I remember she had this show, and my friend would watch her show all the time. I forget what the show was called, but it was literally, she was obsessed with Kat Von D. Anyways, so my brother's friend my friend's brother put Hannah Montana on. He had changed the lyrics to the Hannah Montana song, so it was about him sleeping with Miley Cyrus on the couch. It was some disgusting song that he sang it. Like, he altered and made his version of the song and would sing it. So after, it was the episode where Jackson had ordered a pizza and he had a date coming over, and I think it was anchovies he got on the pizza, or onions. And you know how they have a rule of what not to eat when you're on a date? So what happened was that they said, I guess they called him ugly, because why is he ordering onions on a pizza when he has a date over? And he goes, no, I'm not ugly. Like, because they were like, why would you, anyways. I remember the episode. So then all of a sudden, I just kind of put the blanket over. I'm just trying to sleep, but it's Hannah Montana. I want to watch Hannah Montana. The next thing I know, he puts on Howard Stern. Now, we obviously know who Howard Stern is. He's the porno guy that was on radio. And there's a movie about him, right? So basically, he was a very raunchy guy back in the day. So raunchy that they tried to censor him. They did not want this guy on radio for obvious reasons. All he did was talk about sex. He was sexual, talked about sex. He had his, not partner, like they were together, but like his radio partner on radio, her name was Robin, I believe. It was Howard Stern and it was Robin. Don't ask me how I know, because I've seen the movie Private Parts. I should have not watched that either. But hey, I'm a kid and I would watch TV at night, HBO, so, and not the late night HBO, okay? Like movies. I would watch movies at night because I loved movies. Anyways. So he puts on Howard Stern, and they're doing some sexual stuff with hot dogs. And the next thing I know, I'm trying to go to sleep. So I put the blanket over my head. I'm trying to sleep. I couldn't sleep. And my friend gets mad at her brother and says, turn that off. And he said, if you do, I'm going to tell mom and she's going to send her home. Because my friend's mom didn't really like me for no reason. I don't know why. And so she was like, oh, right, whatever. We couldn't say anything because it was 2 o'clock in the morning. And I can't be walking up the street home and knocking on the door at 2 o'clock. My parents would have I would have gotten in trouble, so I couldn't say anything. you know? So I'm trying to go to sleep, and it's hard because, you know, like, so then I start watching because what else am I supposed to do? Like, it's there. This girl is on a giant vibrator. I remember they took this pad off and they were running around with it, having all the guys smell it, and I was just like, this is disgusting. Like, and especially trying to process and see that at a young age, I thought that I would be scarred from eating hot dogs. I thought I would never eat hot dogs again. Like, I was like, why are they doing that with hot dogs? Like, what the heck? Like, a 15-year-old trying to process what they're seeing. Like, at 15, you should not be seeing straight up porn, sorry. But yeah, it was showed porn. Like, first of all, he was telling people for a reason. The mom was not doing anything. When you say exploiting the little boy's trauma, the mother didn't even care. Like, you're leaving these kids unattended, mind you. Like, no parent should be leaving their kids unattended to have enough time to show another little boy porn. Like, this stuff was being passed around. Like, these young men become porn addicts at a young age because they learn it from their fathers who were porn addicts, mind you, because that's all men think about is sex. They sexualize women. Women are a piece of meat. Sex, 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 sex. That's all it is. And especially at a young age, it's all about seeing how many girls they can sleep with. I literally sat in classes in high school where men were literally bragging and talking about how they slept with this chick. This one guy, I cannot make this up, talked about how his brother was watching him have sex with this girl. I'm like, you openly admit that? And the brother was in the same class, literally saying, yeah, I was having sex with this girl, and the door was cracked, and my brother peeked and was watching us have sex. I'm like, why would you even admit that? Like, these are things that, you know, I literally was the type of person who would pay attention but would listen to conversations. Like, I knew way too much. Like, I could tell people, yeah, I heard this. I would be like, yeah. I was nosy. Like, of course, they're having a conversation like that. That's how men thought. Mind you, there was a lot of girls that were getting pregnant at my high school. Teen pregnancy was high. Like, it's crazy. Like, there was this boy that was like 7 or 8 years old that was as old as my brother when at this other place we lived at, literally making sexual jokes towards me. Mind you, I'm 3 years older than my brother, and I'm like, what is wrong? Like, for me, I'm like, ew. And then, you know, now realizing he learned that from his parents. He would stand, because there was these apartments my friend lived in. She lived on the bottom, and I guess he lived on the top. I think he might have lived in the same apartments, but he lived in the top apartments, and he would always stand up there and make jokes, like start humping and being all weird. Mind you, I was sexualized when I was 10. Like, I would hang around my brother's friends and they would make jokes about my boobs because I got bigger boobs than other girls. Like, I would just feel horrible about myself. I would cry. I would just leave because they had this like little fort thing inside this abandoned car that one of my friends, or my brother's friends, had. And they built a little thing, and it had like sheets to block the window so you couldn't really see into the car, but the window was busted, but it was blocked out. So we would get in the window and we would all sit in the back of the car, like the back seats, and hang out and talk, you know. And they would say, like, you know, the inappropriate jokes, and I would just cry and I would just leave. I just leave before I cried, and then after I left the car, I would cry. Like, I literally had 2 grown teenage adults, one boy who was in high school, one girl who was in high school, literally talk about my pubic hair and my private area, and I'm 10 years old, by the way, telling me your hair is so long that you could braid it like a forest. Like, how do you even know? Like, you're making these jokes as if you've seen a minor's private area. This is the things that I had to see growing up. And a lot of these things, mind you, I'm not one of those people, but men, when they see and hear stuff like that, they grow up becoming sex addicts and porn addicts, and they become addicted to watching porn and, just having sex. It's just, ugh. For me, it's gross. Like, it triggers me because at a young age, I've had to see that. At a young age, I was sexualized. At a young age, and I knew about sexual things and saw sexual things from people that was not my family. I do want to say that because I didn't, I was literally sexually assaulted when I was 10. I couldn't consent to that. Whether you want to call it groping or not, him touching my breast for however long he touched it for, and me being like, okay, yeah, I'm 10 years old, my brain is not fully developed. This kid named Tyler is literally in middle school fondling a 10-year-old. Like, how is that okay? And people just be justifying that, saying, oh, because, I know people are going to say, he was just groping you. That's not sexual assault. I'm 10 years old. I can't consent to that. I thought, oh, this guy wants to be my boyfriend. And I don't really know what it means to have a boyfriend. I just thought, he asked me out and he said, do you want to go out? And I was like, yeah. I'm 10. I don't really know what that means. I'm just like, oh, he wants to go. Okay, yeah. Like, I'm a 10-year-old that just agreed. And it was only for a day because he never even said we were broken up. He never even said anything. He just did that. He got what he wanted, and then all I know is that they trashed their apartment and they left. Because I know the landlord showed my dad their apartment and they had lines of roaches going one way to another. They left they brought the actual trash can inside their apartment, threw all the trash and left it there. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because it's frustrating when people tell me that I don't have experiences. Mind you, I did talk to a therapist about this, but I've never processed this, and it sucks when you come to the internet to tell people something and they say I was never SA'd. First of all, when I talk about sex, I'm a grown adult. Second of all, I'm not in heat all the time. When I make lip sync videos, I don't understand why people say I'm in heat. That doesn't make any sense. It's just a basic lip sync video. Just because I like the way I look when I have makeup on and I'm wearing a dress does not mean I'm thirst trapping someone. I'm just literally making a lip sync video and people are like, who is this for? When I literally posted about thinking about what sex would be like with you. Okay, why does that affect you? I'm not sexual. I don't sexualize people online, nor have I ever made people feel uncomfortable. Like, what are we talking about? Like, some of y'all are weird, and then some of y'all will be in the comment section saying, who wants to sleep with you? Like, why are you concerned who wants to sleep with me or not? I'm not making thirst trap videos. Those are literal lip sync videos. Hence the hashtag lip sync. In none of those videos did I tag hashtag thirst trap. It's literally not a thirst trap. I'm sorry, but I am Jacob Townsend. Why don't you shut up? You're so mad annoying. All you do is talk shit. You've been talking shit to me in DMs all. Like, you got nothing better to do with your fake ass LinkedIn profile. You whack ass bitch. You're not even professional. I don't even know why you have a profile on LinkedIn if you're being a bully and harassing someone, you weird ass. Well, go ahead. It's not going to get taken down. You can report the live all you want. On Instagram, you can say whatever you want. Child safety, there is no minors in this live stream whatsoever. You don't give a fuck about child safety. Report the Discord then, bitch. If you care about child safety, go report the Discord, or you don't care about child safety. Talking about child safety. Child safety, my ass. I'm gonna wipe my ass with that one. Some of y'all really are fucking weird. Like, seriously. Like I said, one person reporting is not gonna do nothing. I could report to the FBI, but they're not gonna do anything because I'm one person. Oh, do you? Well, there is someone else that was sending me screenshots, and I don't think you actually have screenshots, because you wouldn't be saying that in the live. Because if you did have screenshots, you wouldn't be saying that on the live. Like, yeah, people that send screenshots, they don't mention in the live because they get harassed. That's how I know. Yeah, because people get harassed for that stuff. Anyways, I gotta get some sleep because I got stuff I gotta do tomorrow and I gotta get up early. Anyways, have a good day or night where you guys are. We'll see you guys later. Okay, let's talk about Wesley. First of all, I didn't run Wesley off. Wesley had personal issues, which is why he left TikTok. He didn't leave TikTok and delete his account because of me. Let's get into it. There was another Asian content creator that has been going viral for talking about world issues. You know who he is. He wears a bandana. He's the one that literally made a video calling Wesley a predator when he doesn't know nothing, saying that Wesley is making these thirst traps on TikTok and there's kids on this app and most of the people interacting with his page are minors, when that's not the case. He didn't even look at the accounts. Mind you, Wesley has always said 18 plus, so that has never been an issue. He has never thirst trapped to minors in any capacity, and this dude straight up made a video calling him a predator. So because he made that video, wouldn't you think that's probably why he left social media? Because he got falsely called a predator, and maybe he was getting horrible messages. On top of that, he was drinking wine out of a McDonald's cup. That means he was concealing his alcohol. Why would you have to hide your alcohol in a McDonald's cup for a video if you didn't have some sort of a drinking problem? To me, he became depressed. He was in a dark room. Mind you, he was saying some depressing stuff. I had personal conversations with him. I was in voice chats with him on Discord. I had personal conversations on Instagram, which those conversations are gone because he deleted his account. I had his number because someone was catfishing him, trying to meet up with him, claiming they were this chick, stealing this chick's content. They bought an account with 1 million followers and changed it over to make it look like it was her account And she's someone like Belle Daphne that does OF content. Belle Daphne. She literally did OF content. And it's been known that people have stolen her content. She gets constantly banned because of what she posts on TikTok. And she continues to post the OF content stuff because she says, I know I keep getting banned, but I'm posting it because, she was promoting her OF, but people started stealing her content and pretending to be her and catfishing her. So then, Belle Daphne, she was a girl that sold her own bathwater. Like, she sold her bathwater on eBay. And she's a real crazy person that does OF. So, anyways, we had personal conversations. He kept commenting to me, and he commented under videos I didn't even tag him in. And he even replied to me saying, when are we going to meet each other? He was literally planning to meet someone in New York that he made friends with. Then from New York, he was going to come to New Mexico and come hang out with me. We had plans to hang out, mind you. He never did because COVID hit. When COVID hit, nobody was allowed to travel. They quarantined people. Lockdowns happened. People was not allowed to travel. That's when that hit. And then he couldn't come. Mind you, like, I thought he was coming, right? So yeah, he never came. It was that whole thing of like, when you say get over Wesley, the reason why I mentioned Wesley is because someone said that I harassed him off the app. So that's why I'm explaining this. I had personal conversations with Wesley. Wesley was making it seem like he was interested in me. And for people to say like, oh, that's just him being friendly. Nobody talks about wanting to see someone's face. Oh, I turned off my camera to go make a TikTok. And I think it was him or it might have been someone else. I think it was him. Oh, why aren't you showing your face? And I said, oh, I'm going to go make a TikTok. I'll be right back. And then he's like, come back. And literally in the chat, he told me and this other girl, but he said, you need to talk more. He goes, I want you to talk more. But they were having a conversation. Okay. So in the voice chat, we were hanging out having a conversation. They start talking about their sexual experiences and basically their bad sexual experiences. I've never had sex with anyone, so I'm not gonna talk. Like, I don't have anything to add to this conversation. I'm just listening. And so after the conversation, that's when he says you need to talk more. And I said, well, and I said, well, I didn't have anything to contribute to the conversation. So there's that. And we've had personal conversations on Instagram, but the Instagram, he deleted his Instagram. Mind you, I know the reason why he deleted his TikTok. He put it in the Discord. It was personal reasons with his family. It had nothing to do with me. He replied to the comments that I had literally commented. One of the comments that I commented was a post, I think it was him roller skating or something, rollerblading, because he rollerbladed a lot, and I think he didn't have a shirt on or something, I don't remember. And I had made a joke, you could carry me to bed or something like that, like, haha, funny. And he responded with something like, I'll carry you to bed, or something along the lines of that. And I said, yeah, we can sleep together. Not sleep together like have sex, like, I think, I said something about we can go to sleep together. And someone's like, he didn't mean it like that. And I said, I know that. That's why I said what I said. Because I was not trying to be sexual, but hey, he responded. So I just kind of like toned it down a little bit. I'm not gonna be sexual with someone that I don't really know. And plus, I'm not a type of person like that. I don't talk sexual unless I like the person, you know what I mean? But yeah, like, we had interactions like that. And I know people are gonna say he replies similarly to other women. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's like, oh, he was interested in me. But we have had conversation. He has defended me. He literally made me promise to not harm myself. He said, don't ever try to harm yourself, because in the past I did. At the apartment, my mom stopped me from taking a bunch of Advil. I attempted to take my life. And I had a conversation with him about my dad's bipolar and everything. And I said, I just didn't want to come to you with this because I didn't want to bring my problems. He was the one who was worried when I was in the hospital with my pericardial effusion, asking me if I was okay. He was in my live stream. And he said, are you okay? And people want to say that I harassed this guy, that I stalked him. But he was literally having conversations with me up until he deleted his account, which he told us in the Discord why he was deleting his account, and it had nothing to do with me. I didn't stalk this man off the app. He was the one that was interested in me. And I didn't even really have to do or say anything. Mind you, I talk about this. I was making that video, the video that I made, the cheesy chicken Alfredo, when I found the recipe, and I made that for a video when I used to do my cooking videos at the apartment. He was cooking lasagna, and he was playing the song by One Direction, which is my favorite song of all time, The Night Changes. It was at the very end of the song, like the song was ending, and I said, I missed the song, it's ending, this is my favorite song. He went and started the song from the beginning, out of nowhere. Like that, I was like, oh my god. Like, to me that was probably romantic. To me that was like, oh, you did that just for me? Like, there was other things. Like, he had actual conversations with me. I was not harassed. If I was harassing him, why was he having conversations with me? That literally makes no sense. That literally makes no sense. Why would someone talk to somebody that's harassing them? I don't talk to someone that's stalking me. I definitely wouldn't be talking to my stalker. Like, some of y'all are weird if you think he was talking to me and I was stalking him. He deleted his account for family personal reasons. And for other reasons, I think I know why. There were men on this app that did not like people doing thirst traps. That one guy that talks about real world issues, he clowned these men for making thirst traps. I mean, rightfully so. But yeah, Oliver Moy and Sebastian Moy, he would make videos on them like, look at these dudes making thirst traps and they're so weird. Like, I don't watch thirst traps. I could care less. But making a video falsely claiming that someone is a predator just because they make thirst traps online, and you assume that the people engaging with his videos are minors, is weird. And I'm pretty sure he got backlash because that video went viral. And you're blaming me? There's multitudes of reasons why he could have deleted his account. But the one reason he stated was family issues. He never said I was being weird. You said I was being weird. He didn't tell me I was being weird. Why was he trying to meet up with me if I was being weird? I had literally planned a whole boba thing for us to go get boba. He literally planned to meet me in New Mexico. What are you even talking about? COVID hit. That's why he didn't come. That's why he didn't go to New York. That's why he didn't come here, because they blocked people from traveling and quarantine happened. We had a whole plan in messages for him to come meet me. He wanted to come meet me. I didn't do anything. And you're saying I'm weird? If I was being weird, why would someone want to come meet somebody that is being weird to them? I gotta go because it's getting really late. some of y'all really are weird. I'm delusional? Well, he wasn't lying. He wasn't trolling. He was serious. When are we gonna meet each other? This guy, okay, this is the thing that it's hard for people to understand. It's because I'm not conventionally attractive, and because you see how he looks. Oh, a guy like that doesn't like a girl like her. Bro, in real life, like, you'd be shocked. Okay? I don't pull ugly people. Just being myself, and people love me for who I am. Looks matter a little bit, but not that much. I am myself. Me, myself, and I. That's why people like me, and it's hard for people to understand that. People like that would like you too if you didn't act ugly online. Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I get all the guys. Like, no, it isn't like that. But it's just the way that I carry myself. The way you carry yourself is what makes you attractive. Well, go ahead. I'm not at any shelter, like I said. There is no number online because there's no number to a bridge. So, yeah. First of all, Wesley got engaged, which I don't even know, to be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you the truth because for me personally, I received a message, and I'm going to talk about it because I blocked his account. So I don't follow Wesley anymore. I blocked his account. He told me about his account. So for people saying, oh my gosh, he found his account. No, I didn't go looking to see if Wesley had a new account. He told me he had a new account because he messaged me. So I had his number. And I'm going to tell you why. Because somebody tried to catfish him. And I tried to get a hold of him on Instagram, but he was working. So he gave me his number so I can contact him personally, because it was hard to reach him on Instagram because he's working, so he can't check his Instagram. So I received a message from him. He tried to come back. He tried to say that he cared. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know if it's a troll because it said from your contacts, and it was Wesley. So I received this message. He tried to come back into my life. I did believe it for a while. I was gullible because my brother had just died. And, I was talking to him and, and I can tell how someone talks, how someone texts. And it was him, the way he was talking. Like, I know just the way that he talks. And people won't even remember how someone talks to mimic how they talk. So I know no one would know how Wesley talks to pretend they're Wesley. And apparently, at the end, he said he was getting a divorce, which I don't know if that's true. And that basically, he wanted to basically, be with me. And I was like, nah. I was like, I'm like, no, because there was a lot of things, He would message, and then he wouldn't message for like 4 weeks. He would message me. He was going to school to be a doctor. Basically said he wanted to take care of me. All of this BS. Basically telling me that, I couldn't stop thinking about you ever since I left social media. You have been on my mind ever since, which is typically what people do that love me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have people like that in my life that come back because they're in love with me and they think about me, like, and they come back and they're like, I was thinking about you, Like, I couldn't stop thinking about you. Like, you know, and the fact that it said from my contacts. It was from, not like recommended contacts. You know how it says, like, someone can message you with a similar name, and then it says from your contacts? I get a message from him saying, were you talking about me on the live? Because I had said something, and basically I had mentioned something. I was talking about him, and then I said I wasn't. So I blocked his account. He's blocked. Because I said, you know what, F you. I'm not playing games. I'm not one that you play games with. Like, either you love me or you don't. You come back, you say you're thinking about me. You come back, you say that you want to be with me. You want to provide for me. You want to, like, take care of me. And then you don't talk to me for a week. Then it becomes 2 weeks. And then you talk to me. You come back and talk to me. Like, did your wife know that you were telling me you loved me while you was about to marry this girl? That's what bothered me. And I had a conversation with another friend of mine being like, he didn't even care. He's getting married to this girl while he's telling me he's in love with me. His mind was not there. And I'm not going to be with this guy that is going to marry someone else and wants to be with me. You didn't really love me. You led me on the whole time. He acted like he cared. We had personal conversations the whole time. And then he comes back like we're just supposed to have this pickup like where we left off. That's not how it works. And then you're saying you're going to get married to this girl. And then no wonder why you're getting a divorce, because you didn't really love her. You didn't really love me. Yes, he lied. He said he was getting a divorce, and then he messaged me back. Mind you, he text messaged me and told me he was getting a divorce and he wants to be with me. He said, now I can talk to you. I can be with you now. I'm getting a divorce. I said, no, I'm not. What do you think this is? Do you think this is a game? I told him this isn't a game. When I love people hard. I don't play games. For you to be messing with my feelings like that is mucked up. I gotta go to bed. It's getting late. But anyways, that was the whole situation. And my real life friend knows the situation because I talked to her about it. I showed her the messages. It literally said, from your contacts. When you have like contacts saved from like the past, you know, because like everything backs up again. I knew it was him and it was his number and not a troll, because I don't have a troll saved in my contacts. It said from my contacts, and I know that there's one that, you know, if someone has a name similar to someone in your contacts, it'll say recommended contacts, even though it's not the person because they have similar names. This said from my contacts. It was him. I did have his personal number, by the way, and I didn't give that out to anybody. No one even knew I got his number because I didn't tell anyone anything. I didn't go online to prove to people that he liked me and say, oh, well, if he didn't like me, then why did he give me his number? Like, I didn't even, no one ever knew that I received his number, but I did get his number. And his account on TikTok is blocked. He told me to follow his account. For people that ran to the comment section saying, oh no, she found his account. I didn't know nothing about that account. He told me to follow his account. His new account that is blocked. Because he played me. That's what pissed me off, is you're gonna marry this chick, but you're telling me you're in love with me. Oh, I couldn't stop thinking about you, baby. Like, and that's how he talked, and literally he called me baby. Like, I know that was him because in personal messages in the past, yeah, he has called me baby. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, duh. Like, I know exactly how he talks. And no one's gonna remember how Wesley talks. So, and plus, I didn't save a troll in my phone. But that's messed up. And then he comes back saying, I want to reconnect with... He goes, I want to reconnect. Me and my wife are getting a divorce. Well, obviously. Like, you're entertaining me. I couldn't stop thinking about you. You were on my mind since I left social media. And I was like, I was blinded. Yes, because it was like, those feelings came back. And I was like, wow. You know, I had strong feelings for him. Yes, I was in love with him. So what? What does that matter? Like, we had personal conversations. And so I'm like, what? Do you think this is a game? When he came back, and I'm like, why don't you go back to her? Like, I'm not going to be someone's second chance. You wanted to marry this girl, and all of a sudden, now that you're getting a divorce, you want to be with me? No, you didn't want to be with me in the first place. You was still thinking on marrying that girl. Like, I no longer follow that account. I blocked it. I don't even engage. He literally messaged me. That's what pissed me off. And I said, do you think this is a game? And then he tried to play stupid. Like, what? What did I say? What did I do? Like how all men do. You know what you said and did. You basically told me you loved me. Then you said you were getting married. That hit me in the face. So I'm just the side chick. I'm the other chick. Like, and mind you, I didn't even know anything about his engagement when he told me to follow his account. I didn't know anything about the other girl when he was telling me he loved me. When he said he never stopped thinking about me since he left social media. Like, I never, like, I didn't even know about the other woman. Like, people were sharing posts from Instagram, and I'm not blocked. Like, I didn't even know. Like, I'm not even searching up Wesley. So for people to say, like, oh, you're stalking him, you're being weird, I wasn't looking for Wesley. I didn't even know nothing about his engagement and him being married until people started mentioning it on my live. And then they were like, oh, Wesley's getting engaged. Like, why would I care? And then that's when he told me, oh, he said, so I'm getting married. And I was like, yeah, I heard on TikTok. They told me. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, they told me you're getting married. That's all I said. Like, what do you want me to say? You just told me you loved me. You're telling me you're getting married to this chick. I'm not going to respond negatively. I'm just going to hold myself with grace and not lash out because I was fumigating inside. Like, not too long ago, you was just telling me that you loved me. I don't believe men at all. There was literally another dude that I reconnected with from an old friend of mine, the friend that had passed away on my birthday. I ran into him at one of the shelters, and like I said, long story short, he asked me for my Facebook. I knew what was coming. Then he asked me out, and I said, no, I'm not, I said, no. I forgot what I said. I was trying not to be rude, but for me, like, if a relationship happens, unexpectedly, then yeah. But I was not, and I didn't like him. I was not attracted to him. So anyways, that happened. So then this dude is now got engaged and is married to someone and changed his status to married on Facebook. And I was like, not too long ago, you was just messaging me and you was just literally trying to date me. Like, this is why I hate men. Because it's just like, you never even really cared. Like, on to the next. That quick. And I'm not jealous or anything because I never even liked him. But it's just like, with Wesley, it was so frustrating because, like, you made me believe something and then you lied. Mind you, maybe he did have strong feelings back then. But now he lied. Back then, I kind of feel like he did lie because he lied now. He would make comments like, yeah, he commented the same stuff to other girls, but we had private chats. We had private chats, you know, and it wasn't even inappropriate stuff. You know, we would joke here and there, but it was always like, when am I gonna see you? I want to see your beautiful face, like things like that. You know, he would just like, why did you turn off your camera? I want to see your beautiful face. And I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna go make a TikTok, I'll be back. Like, just compliments. And for people to say that I don't know the difference because someone's being friendly, I clearly know the difference. Because I had a recent experience. So I know the difference between someone being friendly and someone flirting. Anyways, I gotta go because if not, I need to go get some sleep. Have a good day or night where you guys are. I don't go on and get off. Have a good day or night where you guys are. I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go get some sleep. I'm tired, but have a good day or night where you guys are. See you guys later. Bye, guys.